Oh, my bad, Gray. Yes, you guys are innocent, definitely. This lady is pregnant with a fish person. Pissed off her husband. Her husband decided to poison a whole lot of people to try and get back at her and get her back because she's part of a cult. A professor who lives in Oakmont, who lives in Advent. That was the time when there was like this dangly thing right here that we have not figured out what to do with. Why is... There's a baby doll head. What do we need to do with this information? I know for a fact the poisoner is George Cavendish. All I know is I need to report this to Anna at the fish market. Okay, so we're gonna go... Yeah, we're gonna go back to Anna. Even if she is part of a cult, him killing a whole bunch of people is not good. Though I did tell him that I was on his side, so he would tell me who his connection was. So I need to go back to Anna Eastern Shells. I know who the poisoner is.
I found your poisoner.
Oh, see, bless you, Charlie. Oh, thank goodness. Who is it?
Well, that's the peculiar part. It's your ex-husband, George Cavendish.
Oh. So that son of a rotten...
The Rhode Island Red is not necessarily the meat bird, it's more of the,
We'll find him. Then I'll have a word with him in person.
Okay,
Still, it's strange.
They're the,
I never thought he'd have the guts to do something
scavengers.
like this. He was always a pushover.
You're oddly calm.
You're taking this remarkably well for a woman who just found out her ex-husband is a poisoner.
He's nobody to me. The EOD is my family now, and we serve a higher purpose
Alpha
than
Bravo
he could
Charlie,
ever
yes,
grasp.
that and Johnny
My
Bravo.
life finally has meaning. And now, we're going to relieve him of the burden of his miserable existence. You've done us all a great service, Charlie.
Why is she still calling me Charlie?
All right. No more messing around. Get me in touch with your Grand Poobah or whoever's in charge. Now.
Easy there, Charlie. I'm a woman of my word. Go to the basement of the fish market.
Emotional damage!
You'll find a mouther there by the name of Maurice. Tell him I've sent you. You'll get your answers.
About time.
Thank you for the emotional damage. Okay, so do I now have something inside the Mind Palace that I can connect? No, I don't. I just have this dangly thing going on here. High-ranking member, the Insamouther named Maurice. The basement of the fish market, you say? Open up! Okay. Question, did she send me in here to die? She might have sent me in here to die. Okay. There's not just a whole bunch of bad guys. There's actually a person. She sent me in here to die! Ow! Ow! Rude! Oh no.
Budge.
Wait, why can't I take out my gun? Because I probably don't actually have a gun in my hand. I should have done that already. Note to Maurice, you say? Oh. Did she just hand me a note and I idly gave it to him without even looking at it? That was just rude. That was rude. I trusted her. I even told her her husband was guilty. What happened? What happened? Is there anything else down here? It's just that? You want a Mind Palace now with your dangling thing? There's nothing here. I need my weapon again.
Hey, Mr.
Okay,
Reed.
there we go.
Do I know you, buddy?
Not yet, but I know you. I also know you're looking for a particular lady. My name's Fred. You're looking for Professor Doe, ain't that right? The scientist the Order kidnapped. I think we can help each other.
How do you mean? You know where she is?
Slow down, buddy. Helping each other is not the same as let me just tell you everything.
We could just skip to the you could just tell me everything.
Nothing's for free in this city, is it? Figures. All right. Shoot.
You won't regret it. You've seen some of this city now, am I right? You've in England what's coming? I want out of the order and the city before it hits. Trouble is, it's much
What's her
easier
name,
to get
lady?
into the order than to
Oh.
leave. Give the slightest hint of it. You've signed your death warrant. I need somebody to get me out of the city on the quiet. And that's not an easy thing these days, my friend.
I've no idea how to help you with that.
Ain't you a detective? There are people in the city, smugglers, who know what to do. Find them. That's how you can help. See, I've heard whispers about ads in the newspaper. A new ad every week, talking about Salvation Harbor. Maybe start there.
Okay.
All right, fine.
Newspaper,
I'll look into it.
ad with Salvation
Your lead
Harbor.
on the professor
Shows up
had
every
better be
week.
worth it.
I know where they've got her. I can get you there. You just find me a
Nightmare
way
on Elm
out
Street.
fast.
Thank you, thank you, thank
or
you.
I might be too dead to be any use to you.
I'm getting to where I really like these types of shirts. I got like a whole collection of them. I just wish they came in tank top. Because I really... Once it starts hitting real summer, like if I was to go outside and it was actually 80 degrees right now, I probably would have a bit of an issue. It'd be really hot. Not to mention I want to... I guess Bam calls them his solar panels whenever he takes his shirts off or puts his tank tops on because his arms like absorb the vitamin D. I guess you could say it's like my solar panels. Okay, we need to go to the Chronicle. I'll be honest with you, I wear this shirt as kind of a triumph. Freddy used to scare the bejesus out of me when I was a kid. Not even an exaggeration on that. Okay, so after the flood section, it was advertisements, district, Salvation Harbor. No, oh, I've got the wrong thing on. Hold on. Wait, before I proceed with my investigation, I need to report my findings about the EOD and Harriet Doug to Robert Thurgmorton. I can find him in his manor. Wait, I already got here though. Can I not do this yet? Pardon! Wait. Oh no. Look at all of the flowers. Are you guys carving? You put his head on a cake? Wait, he is a cake. That's disgusting. Is this how you guys do funerals? We are not going to ask him about the cake? You're not going to ask him about the cake?
I found a disturbing book, Mr. Throckmorton.
Okay, apparently I'm just going to do
on
this
mirrors.
first.
It spoke of imprisoned souls. Now level with me. What is it you're after?
I suppose there's no point in being coy. I have learned that I once had a brother, Hammond. My father robbed me of him. Hammond is inside the mirror, trapped by sorcery. My father's doing? Why, I cannot guess. But he is a Throgmorton. He must be saved.
Okay, for those people who missed that episode, this dude's was married before he went to Africa. This dude's dad was married before he went to Africa. They already had a child. While he was in Africa, he had a loving relationship with a local, and they produced him. Now, that means that this dude has a brother out there. That brother got sucked into a mirror, and his mom is out hunting for a way to get him out of the mirror. Whenever the mom found out that the husband was seeing somebody else, she went a little bat crazy, and they put her in an institution, and she escaped. Now she's looking for a way to remove him. Your father's expedition, tell me
I had
about
some
her.
questions about Bethany.
I beg your pardon. I don't believe I know anyone of that name.
It's your mom.
Well,
Or
it
no,
came
it's
up
not your
during
mom.
the investigation.
No, it's not your mom.
See, your father divorced, and his ex-wife's name was Bethany.
Say no more. It is beyond my earliest memories. But even if it weren't, my father's
John, how you
business is
doing?
his own. I shall not engage in gossip.
Okay, your father's
My
expedition.
father led an expedition back in 1891. Do you know anything about it?
I'm not the best person to ask, I'm afraid. I was a babe in arms back then, and my father never made his findings public. It is a great shame, of course. His work would have turned the science of evolution on its head.
Yeah, I can see that.
He went down there to find out whether or not you could cross-species things? I mean, yeah, sure. It would have turned science on its head. I know who kidnapped Professor
I know
Doe.
who's behind Professor Doe's kidnapping. It's an organization called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Most of them stick to the fish market, but they seem to have agents everywhere. Even the university.
I knew there was something fishy about the EOD, the den of those filthy Innsmouthers. I'll tear it to the ground.
EOD and the Enso Masters are not the same.
Actually, most of the EOD members I met were locals. And for what it's worth, the only Innsmouther I spoke to was a nice guy. You ought to examine your prejudices.
Are you calling me a bigot, Reed?
Yes, you're a bigot. A legitimate bigot and an actual bigot. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that's how you're acting. The Innsmouthers didn't want to end up here, and they didn't do it to spite you. Your hatred leaves them no choice but to retaliate. Can't you see the vicious cycle here?
They killed my son, for Kay's sake!
They
One
who?
man, not all of them. If you keep tarring every Innsmouther with the same brush, you'll radicalize them. And then all this will happen again. The only reason the EOD gained power here is because Innsmouthers had nowhere else to turn. You have to stop being part of the problem.
I shall try to think about what you have said.
Anyway, back to the
Back to
point at hand,
business.
please.
I'll continue my search for Professor Doe. I have a promising lead. You have anything else to tell me?
Your task remains the same. Find Harriet and bring her back. You say we are dealing with an entire organization? Well, I have something for you that might help our cause should things take a turn. Now leave. I've heard enough from you.
Yeah, he does not like the truth. If Twitch want to try that when spamming ads constantly, they'll have to have funds getting emails from the EU Commission. EU advocates ad blocking and anyone else who uses tracking software to block using ad will find themselves having issues with the EU Commission and could get anything from fines to full-on bans from the EU. YouTube is already getting pressure. That doesn't surprise me. The thing is YouTube makes money because of their ability to do ads. The issue is Twitch, even with its ads, is not a profitable company. And if they don't figure out a way for it to become profitable, how they haven't managed to do that after all of these years, I don't know. Unless they figure it out, Twitch will just die. Maybe if they did their ads a little bit less intrusively, like instead of plastering the entire screen with an ad, put an ad on the side or something like that, or allow people who are watching to snooze the ad during a specific spot so they could finish watching like an amped up moment or something like that. If they could just snooze it like twice and then the ad plays. Anything to make the interface a little bit more user-friendly, and yes, YouTube is guilty of this. If a channel is monetized, they no longer have a choice. An ad will be played on the video regardless to whether or not the content creator gets anything from it. It's the same way. You can either tell YouTube to put an ad on your stuff, or they will do it and they will keep the money. It does not matter. Ads wouldn't be an issue if they actually had ads people wanted to watch and are more uniformed in their time length, as well as having banner ads like scrolling bars at the bottom or top. Yes, there is a way to be less intrusive, but if they were less intrusive, they would not be able to sell the ad slot for as much money. Make no mistake, as soon as they start putting the neural links inside people's brains, you will never get away from the ads. Ever. They will on the BB. They'll be on the back of your eyelids. They will follow you at Walmart on screens, and they will be looking at you. It'll be like, what was that movie? It was about that premonition where you had like things where he's moving. Not Futurama. Well, Futurama might have had it too, but I was thinking about Tom Cruise. Minority Report. Is it Minority Report? Everywhere you went, it looked like the commercial was talking directly to you. It might have been that, but that's basically what the future looks like if ads continue the way that they are. They don't want them to be less intrusive. They want to stop what you're doing and force you to look at the ad. That's the ads people. The people who run the platform are like, as long as I'm making the money, I really don't care if anybody sees your ad. That's how they feel about it. This is where you can find all the information about his dad's research, as it were. The weird thing is, this is not the only weird thing in human history, to be fair. There was that lady with the dolphin. So, I mean, let's just understand that some people are weird. Okay, so where do we go with this information, though? Pardon, this is mine. They used to do stuff like that subtly in movies and stuff, too. It was like suggestive selling in videos. Like, they would show drinks that, what was it? It was in movie theaters. But, like, there would be a glass of Coke or something like that, and subtly, if you looked at the picture long enough, there was actually a naked woman that was in the glass, and that supposedly was subliminal. That was supposed to suggest to you that you wanted something to drink. They used to do stuff like that. Back to over here. Let's go! Now I can finally look at the newspaper. You would figure there would be a way that Twitch could figure out how to do their ads along with Amazon. How is it that Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world for people ordering stuff from it, has not figured out how to advertise their own stuff on their own platform with content creators immersively? How have they not figured out how to do that? It just like they're intentionally trying to mess it up. I don't know why. It's like the gaming industry. It's like they're intentionally messing it up. I just heard that, what was it? The company that just did the new Assassin's Creed or whatever, they sold like part of their company off to Tencent, which is like a Chinese company or something like that. And it's like, it just feels like in order for you to intentionally mess up so much of your own stuff, somebody is, what was it? Ubisoft. There is a program that I watch. I know not everybody has the same political leaning, so I'm not telling you one way or the other to watch a particular type of person. This is political content on the what do you call it? Podcast. It's actually on YouTube. It's a political podcast, so if you're not into watching political stuff, don't go watch this. If you are into political stuff, maybe go watch it. I watch Timcast a lot. And there was a lady that was on there, and she was concerned because, what was it called? It was a fabric store that was very, very popular, especially with people doing costumes and stuff, like the roleplay costumes that were such a big deal for like Dragon Con and everything else like that. But that was the fabric store and craft store that everybody went to, and somehow or another, even though they were in the red, their company failed. Come to find out, there's a group of something, Joann's, yes. There's apparently something called a reverse, it's not a reverse mortgage, it's something else. She had a term for it. I don't remember the term, but basically it's like they'll come into a company, they'll buy enough stock to where they can get on the board, and then they start making decisions that align with them being able to sell off or make money from certain assets that the company has. Like, they will sell off the property that the store is on and then rent it back to Joann's. So they have now suddenly a new bill. They will sell off some of the stock and some of the shelving and stuff like that and then rent it back to Joann's. So even though it was profitable, they slowly sold off the assets from underneath everybody and forced the company to buy it back, but slowly bleeding the company dry, and then as soon as they bled it dry, they dumped the stock and ran. And apparently there's a group of people that have been doing this to a lot of businesses, did it to Big Lots too. So my thought is, given that AAA gaming was already on the downhill, and we all have said that there's a whole lot of suits that are in gaming that don't actually understand gaming, that are making choices for it, I'm wondering if they are doing the same thing. Like, they're milking it for as much as they can, dumping what they can whenever they can, like self-stock or whatever like that. If they can sell off things, like they just sold to Tencent, how much money did they make on that? These people invested nothing into actually making the games. They just bled the company dry. It's the guy's being very dramatic, staring out the paper at me. But it just seems like that. I know it sounds like something of a conspiracy, but that's okay. All right. But that's what it seems like to me. Whenever they said that they sold to Tencent, I was like, that's exactly what that sounds like to me. Okay, now we should be able to do this one because I can highlight this one. Section advertisements in Salvation Harbor. There we go. The time has come to send Toothless Bob on his final journey. This time to the Seven Oaks Bar at the crossroads of Comshore Street and Salvation Road in Western Salvation Harbor. It's not a conspiracy. They aren't trying to hide it. Runoffer, how you doing? The finance bros, yeah, it's like they don't really care that much about one way or the other on how the company is run and what it's doing. They're using it as a platform for making money. It means nothing to them other than they can buy and sell, trade, and then they will, if it's advantageous, they will just sell off things that the company needs to bring that money back in under the cover of trying to make the most money for the stockholders or whatever, and slowly just bleed the companies dry. And I'm like, you know, that actually sounds what's like. That's the only reason I can think of a gaming company knowing what they know. A lot of AAA gaming has had years of practice, Bethesda being one of them. They've had years of experience of knowing what their player base wants to play, what kind of games their players want to play. And then to completely ignore that and run with this narrative of, no, they want this. And it's like, well, no, they don't want this because we've got this feedback. And it's like, no, pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to this. And it just feels like pay attention to this is those stockholders saying, if the company collapses, we make a lot of money. What do they call it whenever you short? It's called shorting a company, right? If it fails, they make a ton of money. That should never be a thing people were allowed to bet on. Toothless Bob! Oh, I'm out of coffee? That's a tragedy. Predatory investment, yeah. Tencent helped Ubi last time when the big drama happened. Yeah, but Tencent's probably not getting nothing out of this deal, right? And if they can drain the company, and then some other company comes in and buys some of it, the guys in the suits who took the company downhill didn't learn anything. They're just like, if we get so bad off, the other stockholders will be like, hey, let's sell. And when they say, hey, let's sell, we finally rake in our big payday. I don't like the suits getting mixed up in gaming. I don't like it. The shareholders pocket the money and everybody else loses, exactly. As long as the shareholders continue to make money, and they can make money just by selling off the company, bits and pieces of the company. As long as they're making their part, it doesn't matter if everybody else at the company loses their job. They get their final payday and they're gone. Enough with conspiracy theorizing. It's really not a conspiracy. It actually happens all the time. And they've actually got not tech bros, I wouldn't call them tech bros, investment guys that do, what do you call them? It's not commercials. It's, like meetings in a little auditorium and some dude is all amped up and telling you how to make a whole lot of money and the world is yours type of thing. Motivational speakers for it or whatever. They have guys like that all the time. Hello. It is so dark in here. You need a few extra candles or something. I'm looking to leave the city. That's false. I'm not actually looking to leave the city.
Told me there are people in Oakmont.
Chat loves a good conspiracy theory. I love
maybe not.
chit-chatting through conspiracy theories.
What's his name? That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
Thank you, Richie.
He's an asshole too, sir. Gun is made first class Philip asshole. How many assholes we got on this?
I don't know how long you've been playing Sinking City. How insane are you? Very insane. Philibante is a smart guy. He's pretty cool. Though it gets... I don't know if you're an active listener all the time on it. My issue is like Phil's microphone is always lower than everybody else's. It's either that or he's got one of the hats on and he likes to tilt his head down and he's not actually talking into the microphone anymore. And you would think for a rock singer, he would know how to like project into a microphone. It just seems like he's actively trying not to. And his microphone is always quieter than everybody else's. I'm like trying to turn the volume up whenever he starts talking. Came for Toothless Bob's wake.
I've heard they're having a wake for Toothless Bob here.
That may be true, but I don't know you from Adam. Prove you ain't some gumshoe.
Oh, I can't prove that. I work for Throgmorton. How does saying I work for Throgmorton make this okay? Maybe I can do you a favor?
Actions speak louder than words. Maybe I can prove myself by helping you out with something. Solving problems is my specialty.
Okay. What about a little favor? Nothing fancy, don't worry. I expected a package to be delivered ages ago, but the courier still hasn't shown. Find out what's taking him so long. Here's the address.
Got it.
One more thing. If you don't find him, bring the package back, will
you? Get a passable severance
it's a
on the
crate
way out?
full of
Oh,
the water of life, if you catch my drift.
Bye.
I didn't hear any of what you said. I was too busy talking. Sorry. The EU guidelines demand transparency for in-game purchases. Game developers and publishers in the EU must now clearly display the real cost of microtransactions involving virtual currencies or risk violating new laws. And Steam also stopped the games from being able to be on Steam that ran ads. I thought that was amazing. That was so amazing. The bartender can arrange a meeting with the smugglers in return for finding out what happened to his courier. The courier went missing after visiting a house on Levi Coffin Avenue, not far from the crossroads with Marsh Avenue and Western Grimhaven Bay. The bartender also asked me to fetch a crate containing the water of life from the house if I have time. Oh my gosh, there's so much bad. Oh my god! Okay. I really hope whenever they do part 2 that they, give you a slightly more interactive and less complicated way of marking your map. I mean, it's very interactive, don't get me wrong, but maybe this is it?
The door won't budge.
Are we even close? No, this is on the wrong avenue, so I don't think this is actually it. Let's check over here. There's a whole lot of interactivity to it, but it's very confusing on how it operates, so... Probably not. Over here, maybe? On the northern side of it? This one? Ah, okay. We'll lay the smack down. Alright, courier's final destination. We found it. Hold on, wait for it. There we go. Let me in! Stop. Stop. Stop your things. Stop. Stop whatever those things are. Don't do that.
Left by something heavy with wheels.
Okay.
The blood's almost dry.
Gotcha.
I've seen ashes like this before. Well, that's one way to get rid of a corpse.
Dude. I could have done that a whole lot better. Hang on, wait for it.
Empty, but reeks of gasoline.
It's his final destination? Yep. That movie was traumatizing. There you are. Ugh. I know you're actually there. Ah! Oh, man. Why is all of my ammo out? Dadgummit. What's this? The whiskey crate. Alright, let's figure out what actually happened here. What's this?
Someone was looking for a crate here
okay,
and
gotcha.
was brutally killed. The crew that did it were headed up by a guy in a wheelchair.
Guy in a wheelchair. Gotcha. Okay. So it was the dude that they actually killed that was looking for the crate. My bad. I thought it was the group that took him out that were looking for the crate. Okay, so do we need to go back to this dude? A massive golden brooch weighed down by milky pearls? You could have just not said it that way. Stop your things. Alright. Pardon. Here we go. I found your carrier.
Well, I found your courier.
Do I need to check the plants? Yes.
I hate to break it to you, but he's dead. Someone didn't like him talking to the cops, and, well, they made it pretty savage.
What? Okay, I'm dead. He might think I was in on it.
He? Who's he?
The boss.
The boss. Can I help somehow?
Is there
Why am I doing this?
anything I can do to help?
Nay, I'll handle it. But take my advice. The boss is the only man who can arrange a bon voyage. Don't do anything to make him unhappy. There, a newcomer. Here's the note with your instructions. Beyond that, you're on your own.
Okay, thanks.
And here's your
Here's
crate.
your water of life.
Shh, keep it down, pal. Not too shabby, newcomer. You deserve a reward for this.
So the courier was actually supposed to be breaking into the basement to steal the whiskey. No, we just brought it to him. All right, and we can more or less walk from here. Wish I could clear up some markers here. Interesting that the game makes you find the locations yourself. Yes, no kidding. Well, Bethesda did it before. Morrowind. The main cities were shown. Thank you. Thank you, Richie. I appreciate it. What was it? Not Oblivion. It was, Morrowind. You had to follow the instructions that they gave you and figure out where you were going on your map. They did not do that in later games. They put the markers on for you. I kind of like the putting the stuff on here myself. There's just been a couple of times that we have gotten lost or the instructions were unclear. And we had no idea how the map system worked to start with. Back here somewhere. Aha.
Hey fella, what do you do when you see a dog? Pet it or kick it away?
Many a true nerd in Morrowind. They definitely make you find your look. Yes, they make you work for it. You need to talk to your boss, kick it, pet it, kill it because the dog is rabid.
I'd kill it, because the dog's rabid.
Right you are. You're a new one, huh? Come with us.
I don't trust you, I'll go myself. Lead the way.
Just take me to your boss.
Take me your leader! Take me your leader. All of the aliens are. I just popped up here, huh? Smuggler's hideout. Is something going on here, or do I need to talk to them individually?
I'd have broken all your bones, fella, if Papa Brute hadn't put you off limits.
I've been put off limits.
Just calm down. No need for violence.
Okay.
How you doing, handsome?
She missing her pants, probably intentionally.
Who are you, and what the drock do you want? Let's be quick about it, kid. I don't have the whole damn day.
I'm Charles.
I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Heard you can help with, certain things.
So you want a favor from me, Mr.
Oh my
Reed?
God.
And what would
A favor
that be?
for a favor for a
I want
favor.
to
And I forget
smuggle
who
a
I did
man
this
out
for
of the
originally.
city.
Yeah, a lot of people want to leave Oakmont, kid. Few ever succeed. It won't be easy. And, like everything in life that's worthwhile, it won't be cheap.
So, what's it gonna cost me?
I have a pretty flashlight.
Normally, I wouldn't do drock for a newcomer.
Come on.
But you're doing business with that old ape-lover Throgmorton.
I mean, yes.
I think that's interesting. That tells
fact
me
that
you're
he's
worth
eating his
something,
son?
Kid.
Cake?
Now-
Sense cake?
I have a job needs doing, but it needs to stay between the two of us.
A box of bullets and 1 day's rations. Nothing wants me to do a job. He's supposed to mark something on my map, guys. Oh, what if I don't like the job? Agreed. What do I need to do?
Guess I have no choice. So, what do I need to do?
First things first. My name's Brutus Carpenter,
At 2 Brute?
rightful head of the Carpenter family. Second thing, someone tried to kill me a week ago.
You're not asking me to track them down and kill them, are you?
No,
Probably.
kid. I've got hatchet men if I need them. And I don't want to kill them anyway. I just want to know who was gunning for me and why.
It's because you're
Yeah, I
sleep
know how it
jacket.
sounds. But after I almost died, I realized that being a hard case isn't the only option. I want to try to do things differently.
He is lying? You don't want to kill the assassin.
I wasn't expecting mercy from a crime boss. So, what's the catch?
It's not a trick, kid. I couldn't give a damn what you think about me. When you're at death's door, it makes you reassess your priorities.
Oh, we're doing the get me into heaven thing. Okay, I gotcha.
All right, color me interested. How did this all happen?
I woke up in the crematorium inside a rolled-up carpet. I had this tag on my toe like some cadaver, and I was covered in this weird rancid slime. I managed to get myself out of there. But what I saw once I got home
It's weirder
made
than you
me
thought.
think
Yeah,
I had a
yeah,
screw
yeah.
loose.
And? What did you see?
Me, kid. Some palooka wearing my face and walking out my front door like all was well with the world. So I decided to get out and hole up here. Gathered a small company and pulled myself together.
What do you remember before waking up? Have you tried doing something? Any suspects? What do you remember
What was
before
your
waking
last
up?
memory before the crematorium?
I can remember clearly a dinner I had a week before the incident. After that, yeah, only bits and pieces. I remember writing something in my diary. I don't recall what, except it was important. Those notes could tell us how it all started.
And I suppose that diary's still in your manor.
Exactly, kid. In a strongbox in my room. You have my permission to crack it if it's necessary. I'll write you the address.
Are we going to run into another him that says he's the real one? Is that what's going to happen?
Any thoughts on who'd want to do this to you?
How are we going to figure out who's who?
It must be someone close to me, so I can't trust anyone. I haven't even contacted my son Graham. Normally I'd get him to solve this. I'm vulnerable now. I can't risk exposing myself. Another good reason to bring in an independent contractor.
No, I don't play WoW. I have never played WoW. Have you tried doing something? Let's go for that one.
You must have tried to do something about this imposter already.
Of course I did, kid. I wouldn't be asking for your help if this was just a walk in the park. My people said they killed that other me. It didn't change a thing. I guess they got the wrong guy.
Maybe he laid several of you.
So where would I find the city's crematorium?
Of course you don't know. You're a newcomer after all. Here's the address.
I got it.
Why do you use a wheelchair? Why do you have confidence in your son?
You mentioned your son, Graham. Can you tell me more about him?
Graham? Why would you care? He has nothing to do with this.
You sound pretty sure about that.
Of course. Graham is too honest. And since the end of the war, he turned into a real bleeding heart. It's become a bit of a headache, actually. Of course, we've had our differences, especially about the family business, but he would never hurt a fly, let alone me.
Okay,
It
wheelchair?
appears you're quite capable of standing without aid. So why the wheelchair?
Does your curiosity always beat out your courtesy?
Yep.
I'll tell you if it makes you happy. I'm old. Some days I feel tired. This wheelchair, unlike many people, has never crossed me. So I know I can count on it if I need to.
Goodbye.
My sister's recently got into WoW. She's doing a whole lot of stuff and things and tried to drag me into it. And while it on the surface sounds interesting, it's not something I want to get into. I've only got enough room in my life for one online game, and I already play way too many games as it is. And I would much prefer to play a variety of games instead of invest a whole lot of time into one game that could potentially be shut down at any point. And I've already got one game that I kind of invest a whole lot of time into as it is.
Whoa.
Fallout.
What gives?
What's with all the guns?
A little blackmail, a little larceny, a worthwhile scrap or two. Just like the old days.
Okay, what's in your basement? Do you have loot? Ugh. Ah, there's the fish life, yeah?
Hey, buddy. You look thirsty. Why don't you get hydrated?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Refuse to play a game that has a monthly subscription. Yeah, I don't blame you there. Okay, where's your thing? Do I need to do this? Oh, there we go. Come on. There we go.
We gotta dump this garbage. Papa Brute will be here any minute.
Papa Brute? Typically, something like that I wouldn't be able to see unless there was like a whole investigation I could do in here. Is there something else? Besides that, whatever that is? Oh. Okay.
The blood dried not too long ago.
Are we I thought he was kidnapped from home. Was he kidnapped from here? Why would he be in his hideout now? I mean, before, rather. Uh-oh.
Do you like
What
it
you
here,
doing?
newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays. Do you like it here, newcomer?
This stain's almost gone.
Well,
He's kind of
get
washing
used to
it.
it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
What am I looking for here? I didn't realize there was a thing in the hideout. Are we just trying to get a feel of the guy because he's actually possibly his crew killed somebody? Key evidence collected. It does not say all evidence collected though. Wasn't him, was it?
Just calm down. No need for
Oh, I
violence.
found a dead woman here.
Funny thing, I found a dead woman in your basement. Now, I don't suppose you had your men kill her.
Quiet, you! You're scaring Mary. Look, she didn't die by my order, kid. Take my word for it. And the guilty have already been severely punished. Look, I have my shortcomings, but I don't hurt women or kids.
Goodbye.
Okay, that made it all evident. I needed to confront him. I thought I needed another evidence. Okay. Brutus is never going to change. After he regains power over his family, he'll just continue as always. Murder will be just the start. A brush with death could make him more compassionate and make him see how precious life is. I say before we make any choices with the Mind Palace, we try to figure out the rest of the information. Do we not have to go check on his son? He's like, don't check on him. Don't, just leave him alone, or whatever. So we're really actually not going to go check on him? Liz be like, what's chat doing? Yes. I occasionally have to look over here and make sure nobody's doing anything crazy. You guys understand. We didn't have anything over here, right? Every now and then I just feel like I need to stop and, you know, catch up on the conversation, check in on things. Make sure nobody's running around with lemons again. Stuff happens. Next thing we're going to find out that there's an archive of dead. Probably an archive of dead. Are there people here? Hello? Crematorium. Yes. So we are looking for the evidence. First floor. Morgue. Crematorium. Funeral hall. Alright, we're gonna check the basement last. Come on, Duke. Let's go bowling. Oh no. Oh no. There's obviously somebody in charge of the crematorium. Shouldn't I go up to the office and have a conversation with them before I go spelunking in their basement? This is only a little bit creepy. Do I have a weapon in my hand? Yes. I have to make sure, because sometimes you just don't know. I don't like this. Ah. Evidence? The registry. Last week, person on duty, James Warren. List of deceased. 7 unidentified corpses. They were cremated. Huss, cremated. Cole, to be cremated. Black, to be cremated. Jack White, to be cremated urgently. This week, person on duty, Robert Taylor. James Warren on sick leave since last week. List of deceased, 16 unidentified corpses cremated, and M. James cremated. So the person we need to talk to is James Warren. Locked up and left early. The keys are on the table. P.S. This morning I heard wily beasts near the cemetery. Be careful. Okay. There's Slimers on the floor.
Ugh, what a stench.
Uh-huh. That's all you get to say about it? Okay, that's very scientific. You sniffed it. Just goes around sniffing things. It's fine. Anything else? Loot? Oranges, strontium, 90, quantum St. Clemens. Okay. What was that noise? So creepy.
What's his name? That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
Thank you, Richie.
And his cousin? He's an asshole too, sir. Gunner's mate first class Philip Asshole. How many assholes we got on this ship?
Come on. I'm gonna hold it at just the right angle. Where's the...
Judging by the dried blood and the dent on the shovel, it was used as a weapon.
Oh, this is the... Oh. This is the carpet he was wrapped up in.
Ah, it reeks to high heaven.
Thank you, Richie.
What is this stuff?
I don't know. What's its sperm count?
Someone tried to wash the stain out, but it's still slimy. Ugh, it stinks.
Somebody hit somebody. Obviously. Somebody tried to clean that. This is the thing.
Ah, it reeks to high heaven. What is this stuff?
I don't know. I don't know. Slimer? Slimer had a kid? Slimer's leftover stuff? I don't know. You tell me. Can we seriously not get into the office, though? Question. Does anybody actually remember who we started doing missions for to begin with that started this whole chain of other missions? This really seems like the area I'm supposed to be. I'm getting a whole lot of... Aha! There we go. Do I need to do the second line? Is that the problem? Okay.
Brutus was brought in by some group who had to deal with the crematorium worker. So, Brutus woke up, knocked the guy out cold, and escaped.
Okay. You're not actually that crazy, dude. Don't do anything dumb. Okay. All evidence is now collected. And I guess we do need to do the Mind Palace now because it probably wants to do that. Brutus, stun the crematorium worker. And... shift schedule. Can I do that? I need to talk to Warren, James Warren, the man who was on shift when Brutus woke up in the crematorium. He's suffering from a head injury and requires urgent treatment. I am sure that's why we need to talk to him.